Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth in sincerity. And a shout out to Yakians out there in the four quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth. Bracha the Yahweh, Bracha the Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakadash, Bracha Tunk. So, out here another month, another week, prophesying the downfall of Babylon the Great, America in the scriptures, the daughter Babylon, and many other names. As you can see, though, that pretty much, though, everything's been shut down, even though fuck Newsom has removed the stay-at-home order. Why? What the fuck is open now? Everything's fucking closed still because everything's still in the purple tier here, so a lot of great that fucking lift did. Still can't fucking do anything, and everything that you would want to do, say past 10 o'clock, it's still fucking closed. Ain't no fucking indoor bars anymore, you know, so everything's outdoors, you know. If that. A lot of places they've banned outdoor dining, so you can't even really do that anymore either, you know. So pretty much how this place has ceased, you know, but it's going to cease from being a city completely, just as they're doing in Syria, you know. As you can see, though, ISIS has reemerged. Well, it never died down. You see all these ISIS cells, the United States has been supplying them with the terror weapons, you know, but yet they expect Iran to return to the JCPOA while they're still arming terrorist groups. That's what's really going on, is they want to talk about Iran nuclear deal, renewing the Iran nuclear deal, but at the same time they're still supplying terrorists with weapons, you know. So no, man, they're not even going to negotiate until America agrees to defund these terror groups that they support, which you know that they're never going to. No, because of course, man, the reason why they're over there is to destabilize Syria and Iraq. You know, that's what they're there for, via proxies, you know. That's what Mossad is there for, the Israeli state. Because ISIS really means Israeli Secret Intelligence Services. So, as you know, though, war has continued. While everybody else over here is afraid of the new strain, right? Yeah, supposedly there's a third strain here in California, but everything's closed anyway, so it doesn't matter. But now they expect you to wear dual layer masks, man. It's not enough that you cover your mouth. No, they want to make sure you can't breathe. Make sure that your fucking nose is covered, not just by one layer, but two layers. So dual layer masks in order to, and it's nationwide, not just here in California, but, you know, nationwide, man. Even at inside the airport, bus terminals and all that. So, no, man, ain't nobody going to want to travel. You want to fucking go to Disneyland under them conditions? Fuck no, man. You know? But a lot of people act like these masks are normal. Ain't nothing fucking normal about it. They've just found a way to normalize it. You know, because all your favorite bands have a mask, you know? All your favorite football teams has their own special masks. So make some collectibles, right? Like wearing a hat. That's how dumb and ignorant these people are. But you see, they believe whatever their media tells them. That's their sorcery. That's their witchcraft. They believe whatever they tell them. So, now they're getting rid of fuel burners, you know. Joe Biden has shut down a lot of the fuel industry, you know, and cut off funding to it. So, yeah. His plan is to lay off a whole lot of people. A whole lot of people are going to be without work, as if they weren't already, you know, under the guise of coronavirus, right? You know, restaurant industry, you can forget about that, man. We thought it was bad when Hometown Buffet just closed with no goddamn warning. Just shut down all of a sudden. Didn't warn anybody, and that was way before the coronavirus hoax. So they just shut down operations. The Habit, very good hamburger place in town, well, they're gone too. Why? Because it costs more to run them than it does to shut it down. So a lot of these places, man, have made the choice to go ahead and shut down because they're not going to get enough turnovers. Not with this bullshit. And that's just it. You see, the Most High has taken the mirth of this place. You know? He's allowing Esau to come up with his Agenda 21 plan. The Great Reset. And we see it happening, though. With everything shutting down, and we're seeing that pretty much you have to rent everything. You know, you'll own nothing, and you'll be just as happy. And we can see everything turning towards that. Because you can't afford to pay for anything anymore. Hell, you can't even afford to pay on your credit cards anymore because all the other bills have come up, you know? And these eviction moratoriums, yeah, okay, they expended the time. But you see, when they drop the hammer, though, that's going to be the end of it. Because now people are going to be behind rent for 15 months. So when they drop the hammer, it's going to be big time. That's what this devil plans, to crash everything big time, as he's getting everything ready. So I figured out why they took down the camp videos from last couple weeks. So I just can't say that celebrity's name. I can tell you Reggie Jackson, or I can tell you Barry Bonds, but I just can't say the other one. So it wasn't because believe it or not, I don't use the actual buzzwords. So, I'm still going to call it Israelite Foreigner Rating, and with the data across it, because again, they're looking for reasons to take down the camp videos. Well, that's just it. You see, this is our way of being able to go into the city and prophesy against Mount Seir. So they want to take that away. In guise of, yeah, all these people had something to do with the storming of the Capitol, right? People being harassed. Even though that they didn't storm the Capitol just because they were there. They're being pulled over by security. Yeah, man. A lot of good it does to protest, huh? You can really speak out as one, huh? Yeah, that's freedom. You have the right to remain silent. If you give up your right to remain silent, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Hell, they don't even have to read you those rights anymore. Look at the mask orders, man. I don't remember it going before a vote. They just said, oh, no, we're just going to mandate masks. So, pretty much then, you're going to find out, though, that what you're really living in. And yet, you have the audacity to say that this is the greatest country on earth to live. Take a good look around. Healthcare? That's basura, man. And the last thing you need to do is get anywhere near them fucking facilities, man. I would want to stay far away from them as fucking possible. Just like you don't want to be thrown in an old folks' home, man. They're the worst fucking places on earth to live, man. And only in America would people fucking do that to their elderly. Only the Edomites would think of such a thing. Because, of course, man, that's just it, though. See, they have no work ethics. That's why, you see it for what it is, man. Every excuse not to work. Have you fucking been to Walmart as of lately? Fucking lines long as fucking fuck, man, because they ain't got no fucking tellers. There's only one or two open, but yet they have 20 aisles and only one or two tellers open. It's fucking hell to go through them fucking places. You just want to get your shit and get out, man. You ain't wanting to fucking browse anymore. What's there to fucking browse for? Fuck, man. Everything's expensive as fuck, man. Yeah, so you thought you might get 25 pounds worth of chicken breast, and then you come to find out, oh, well, that shit's sold out. Yeah, man, they're running out of stuff. You're not going to be able to buy in bulk like you would normally do when you first get paid every month. I found that out firsthand. Oh, and that's another thing is, of course, they have it boarded up on one side. Yeah. But nobody drove through that. Nobody broke anything. No, they're just doing that so that way they can limit how many people can go in the stores, Because, of course, man, this has been nothing more than a police state. You see, that's just it. People didn't think that would ever happen over here. But in the guise of a virus, all things are possible. They never let a good crisis go to waste. So that's just where we're at, man, People are more afraid of a virus than they are of World War III, even though World War III is right around the corner. As you can see, though, that Magog has been a guard unto these places. That pretty much, man, they do have a missile defense system against any, terrorist strikes that they might want to try to bring, And that's why, Donald Trump never attacked Syria again. Because they do have a missile defense system. And they can shoot down any incoming missiles. Look at how many failed Israeli strikes there's been, man. They constantly go in there with F-35s, but they never kill anybody. No, man. Because, again, Magog has been a guard unto them. And they can't overthrow the Syrian government like they did with Iraq, man. Because Magog is protecting them. But, you see, they're going to keep pushing. Of course, man, because the least of the flock, Amalek, is going to draw everybody into it. So this place of Esau, Edom, eventually, man, it's going to become a myth. People are going to be astonished when they hiss at all the plagues coming. Obadiah, and it reads, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from the Most High, And an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye up, and let us rise up against her in battle. And that's what's happening now. They're getting ready to fight the whore in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Behold, I have made thee small amongst the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Yeah, man, they're tired of great Satan over there, man. They know that the only way that they're ever going to have peace is to get rid of the United States and its proxies. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock. Talking about you red Hebrew Edomites, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me to the ground? You know, you think that you're invincible. You think that your kingdom will live forever. Talking about, oh, well, Donald Trump can run again in 2024, and he's going to run under the Patriot Party. Don't you see? Your democracy is dead. Pretty much, man, you voted. But it wasn't who you voted for. He got in, though you know you didn't vote for him, but yet he still won. Because they can rig just about anything. Hey, they can rig the news. They can certainly rig an election, that's for sure. Thou that exalt thyself as high as an eagle, and thou shalt be set thy nest among the stars. Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Most High. All your space stations and all that, your space force, Most High is going to destroy it all. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they have not stolen till they had enough? If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some grapes? But you see, what do these Edomites do? They destabilize, they destroy everything in their path. How do you think the Most High is going to destroy this place? In 1 hour, man. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Well, you see, everybody knows who the Bohemian Grove is. Everybody knows that word Illuminati now. Everybody knows that they have a secret club and you ain't a part of it. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee, you know, all the allies of America that were at peace with thee, have deceived thee and have prevailed against thee. They eat the bread, have laid a wound. Under thee, there is none understanding in him. Yeah, all these allies, man, they're no longer, going to be on the side of America, especially when it comes to Iran and the Middle East. Shall I not in that day, saith the Most High, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and the understanding out of the mount of Esau? See, they can't, paint this picture that they're the heroes anymore. Everybody knows that America is the sponsor of terrorism. That America, in order to get what they want, they sponsor terror groups to overthrow governments. Just like they try to do with Venezuela, just like they've been trying to do with Yemen, just like they've been trying to do in Syria, Iraq, you name it, man. They do the same thing over and over again. Terror groups in Afghanistan, terror groups in Pakistan, they supply them. And then they say that they're fighting Al-Qaeda. Well, they haven't used that word in a while, but they say that they are. But everybody knows that now, man, they work for the United States. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Yeah, Joe Biden wants to try to hide that history, you know. But everybody knows Jim Crow Biden. Everybody knows that Jim Crow Biden is going to do everything but. You see, that's just it, though. He just said what he had to say to make you think he was on your side. And these fucking devils don't care about you. What the fuck is wrong with you fucking people, man? They don't give two shits about you. Since when has one of them given a flying fuck about your father that's been in the hospital, been fighting cancer? Since when has one of them tried to actually help out? Not a goddamn one of them, because they don't give a flying fuck about you. You're poor, we'll piss on you. That's what America is. In that day should have stood on the other side in that day. The strangers that carried away captive his forces, foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem. Even thou was one of them. You know? Again, man, you should have looked away. But no, man, you enjoyed this too much. But thou should not have looked on the day of thy brother, and the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Yahweh, and the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. But man, you had to, show everybody that you were having a hanging, that you killed the man, and falsely accused them. All you bitches, man, fucking accusing them of raping you, and they didn't do anything, But you see, your day is coming, man. Your kingdom is fallen, man. Nobody even wants to fucking look at you because they see you with disgust. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yeah, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. But you see, that's just it. This place prides itself on the destruction of the Israelites. Yeah? It doesn't matter how many times you try to revise history, everybody knows it. Yeah? Trying to remove statues. It's a good thing these idols are falling, but you see, that's just it though. There's only one way they can recompense the Most High, and that is an ultimate sacrifice. You see, this whole place, America, is going to become the new altar of sacrifice. Yeah? And he's going to require the blood of you red Hebrew Edomites. Every one of you that were partakers with Babylon are going to die here. Because you see, Edomites ain't the only ones here. Everybody has lived deliciously over here. But now you're seeing it fall, man. People want to flee this place. They want to go back. But they're not letting people leave. Nah, man. They're not letting people leave the UK either. Ah, man, the most restrictive measures ever. So you can see it, though. Everything's getting shut down. They're going to have a second lockdown. And like everything else, though, they got FEMA in 11 states issuing the vaccine. You know, ordering the mandatory vaccine, pretty much, you know. Well, it's going to be mandatory very shortly here. It's going to be mandatory in the essence that you can't enter anywhere unless you show that you have those vaccine papers. And then they're going to want the digital certification. That's where the mark of the beast comes in, the RFID implant. You see, once they make that mandatory, and they are about to very shortly here, then World War III is going to break out. You already know about what's going on over there. Pretty much, though, all these places are actually in more agreement with Iran than they are with the United States, man. Because they had a deal, the P5+1 deal. And they know that America broke that deal. And they also despise the Israeli state. Yeah, most of them nations, man, they don't like what's going on in the Gaza Strip. And they definitely don't agree with the Golan Heights saying that it belongs to the Israeli state. Yeah, the only one that supports that is the United Socialist States. Because you got to remember, these Amalekites ran America before they ever got the Israeli state. Before those bastards started dwelling in the land of Ashdod, they were already over here. So they run America. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that Nancy Pelosi is one of them gutter rats. Everybody knows that Bernie Sanders is one of them gutter rats. They know, man, that most of these fucking politicians are nothing more than Amalekites. Joe Blow Biden is a Jesuit, you know, totally ran by the Jesuit New World Order. And that's what he's going to push, is the New World Order. And he's going to make the microscopic tag mandatory very shortly here. He's just getting things warmed up as he shuts down more and more things, you know, and makes more and more mandatory masks, just like he promised everyone that he was going to make masks mandated. So there you have it, man. You see the very beginning, you know. You want to talk about you can't breathe, man. Yeah, wear that mask over your fucking nose and mouth, man. You ain't going to be able to breathe because now it's dual layered. You see, single layer isn't good enough. No, man. They want to make sure you can't breathe. So that way they can chemtrail you to death. So that way when a snowstorm comes, man, you're really going to get the fucking chemtrails, man. That's what they do. So that way they can... So you'll be stupid enough to go to the doctor, and then he'll say, oh, no, bitch, you got coronavirus. You know, if you're fucking stupid enough to go there. But, you know, maybe there's enough people that ain't retarded. I know that the majority of people are retarded, but there's enough people that ain't retarded enough to fucking take a test. Because what is it to doctor something? It means to forge it, to lie about it. And what is science? It's pseudoscience, right? So these pseudoscientists are going to try to convince everybody. You know, and as long as they have the media to lie for them, they can control the source of information. After all, if it wasn't for the mediocrities, they wouldn't have fooled everybody with that image of Caesar Borgia for so long, you know? But you see, that image is dead now. People know what the true image of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are. And they know that he doesn't look like that. It says right there in Revelation chapter 1 what he actually looked like. That he had wool, hair white like wool, and feet like unto fine brass as it burned in a furnace. Doesn't match any of those images of Caesar Borgia. So their so-called Jesus is dead. Yeah. So we put that to rest. And we told you what the real image is. No wonder why they want us off the streets, man. Because you see, yeah, All those other places, man, they're telling people to get fucking injected, you know. TD Snakes is on a rampage trying to get people to accept it. It's talking to Dr. Fucky, the child molester, you know, because all these people are pedophiles, man. Every last one of them in them harlot houses are nothing more than fucking pedophiles, you know. And they've been exposed right and left, man, you know. And if they don't get exposed for that, they get exposed for extortion. They want your money. They sure are quick to pass that plate. But you see, the Most High has been shutting down these harlot houses. Yeah, man, no social gatherings, man. And then you got to wear that fake mask. So, nah, man. Nah, I think I will sit that one out. And that ain't a real church anyways. The church is really what we're doing, you know. But that's just it. The Most High is shutting this down. Eventually, man, the street ministry won't be here. That's why we encourage people, if you haven't gotten to a camp and you've been putting it off, man, try to get to a camp. Get your information out there and get to the nearest camp while we're still out there. So we ain't going to be out here much longer. You can see, though, that they're shutting everything down, man. More and more buzzwords that you can't say anymore. Hell, you can't even talk about it when someone dies and what they die of. You know? Because, again, they call that misinformation. Even though it's the goddamn truth, man. But you see, they're doing so much damage control. Yeah, you remember Sandy Hook? Yeah. All those kids that died, they showed up all of a sudden at the Super Bowl as teenagers. You know? Everybody knows that that was a hoax. But trying to find a video showing that the Sandy Hook was nothing more than a hoax, yeah, they cleaned that up pretty good. Kind of like how they used to have nothing but Barack Obama as the Antichrist videos. They cleaned that one up a lot too. You know, some is still there, like, Luke 10:18. I saw Satan as Barack Obama. They might still have that one up there, but, you know, the Osama's Obama, which, if you take a good look at that, you can definitely see, though, that there never was an Osama bin Laden. And then for the re-election of Barack Hussein Obama, all of a sudden they were able to get Osama bin Laden. Right. But there was no body of evidence. We saw Saddam Hussein hung. We saw Muammar Gaddafi killed in front of people. But there was no body of evidence for Osama bin Laden. Yeah, because that was nothing more than a government hoax. They would just look around, try to find the body, and they would just be hunting down a guy in the caves. Shit, that's what they told to Aaron Russo. Remember that Alex Jones video? You know, the one that's out there? And what did he say? That eventually they wanted to get everything onto them chips, man. That they were going to start a war, nobody would ever be able to find them, and then they wanted everything to be on them chips. And then if you got online, they just turned your chip off. And sure enough, look at what's happening now. Especially with the coronavirus hoax, man. You know? Yeah, people are more worried about that than they are about World War III. Man, you try to tell them that there's going to be a third world war, they don't think that there is. But what do you think that these countries are buying these missile silos for? You think that they're doing it just to keep it around? No, man, they're getting ready to fire their missiles upon this place. The moment that the United States makes its move on Iran or Syria, they're getting ready to fire their nukes upon this place. In 1 hour, this place will come up in remembrance no more. This place will be that ruinous heap as well. So you can see, though, that all these countries are there in the Valley of Decision. And they're getting ready to fight the whore, Babylon the Great. Because they know that the only way that there'll ever be peace over there is if they get rid of the whore once and for all. So it all takes place in Syria. Syria is the beginning of World War III. And you can see, though, that via proxy, ISIS and all these other groups that the United States controls, that they've been in Syria for ever since 2011. They had to change the name Al-Qaeda to ISIS. They had to make you think it was something serious, because you see, the people of Syria re-elected Bashar al-Assad in 2014. They wanted a regime change. So they kind of changed the narrative a little bit, but they want to stay in there to loot the oil from Syria. Isaiah chapter 17, it reads, "The burden of Damascus, behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall become a ruinous heap." That's right, man. They're going to eventually have their way, and they're going to destroy Damascus. I believe that the Israeli state will be the ones to do this. The cities of Aurora are forsaken, for they shall be flocks which shall lie down, and none shall make them afraid. You know? Because again, man, Israeli state's going to have their way. they're going to cause this war, because at least the flock is drawing everybody in. The fortress shall also cease from Ephraim, and the kingdom from Damascus, and the remnant of Syria, they shall be as the glory of the children of Yashala, saith the Lord of hosts. So again, man, fortress shall also cease from Ephraim, which has a lot of meaning there, because again, man, our people, man, they love this place. And that's why they're going and getting injected, because they, of course, man, they don't think for 1 second that it's going to be a judgment for receiving that vaccine, even though, celebrities have been dying right and left from this shit, Yeah, Reggie Jackson. Well, one like Reggie Jackson. Yeah, man. And I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if they take this down, so try to find it on BitChute. But nonetheless, though, that's what's happening. They want to convince you that it's okay to get the jab. Yeah, because they want you to receive this judgment. And in that day shall it come to pass that the glory of Jacob shall be made thin, and the fatness of his flesh shall wax lean. Again, 2/3 of our people are going to die in Babylon. Yet gleaning grapes shall be left in it, as the shaking of an olive tree, 2 or 3 berries in the top of the uttermost bough, 4 or 5 in the outmost fruitful branches thereof, saith the Lord Yahweh of Yashala. So again, man, 2/3 of our people, man, are going to be destroyed here in Babylon, because they didn't want to get out of Babylon. Now they just wanted everything to go back to normal. Take a good look around, man. More and more places are getting closed because they can't deal with these restrictions. So pretty much, man, so they lifted the order, right? They lifted the stay-at-home order. Why? What's open? What the fuck is there to do now, man? There ain't shit to do. Of course, because that was what it really was all about. Get everything go digital. A great economic crash. The world economic reform. A great reset. You'll own nothing and be just as happy. That's what they're going to push. And that's why, like everything else though, you ain't getting a stimulus check. And part of the conditions of getting that next stimulus check is that you have to show that you've been injected. This is what they're suggesting and putting on the table. And a good portion of us haven't even gotten the other $600 check. No, man, they just lied. And Jim Crow Biden admitted he lied. That there is no fucking $2,000 check. He fucking lied to you right in front of your face. Well, he really didn't get elected to begin with anyways. Oh, man. It's just a shit show of a fucking election. It's the 2012 election, where they already showed you the results in Arizona. Back in August, they said that Barack Obama had won re-election, even though it was Mitt Romney that was filling up stadiums. Yeah, most people voted for Trump, but their votes went to Biden anyways. Even dead people voted for Joe Biden, man. Because you'd have to be pretty fucking brain dead to vote for that piece of shit. Who the hell wants a microscopic tag planted in the front in them? Nah, only these Amalekites want that, man. Only Benjamin, not a Jew, wants your children to be implanted with a microchip. Because nobody in their right mind wants that. Nah, man. That's why they were voting for Trump, because at least Trump was exposing them as the deep state. And they're gotten it so much that you can't even talk about Trump on a lot of these social medias, man. That conservatism and all that. But you see, that's just it. They want to put everything into one category. Most of all, they want us off the street. Because you see, we put an end to them harlot houses, man. People now know what the true image of Yahushua is. That he was a so-called black man. And that the people of the Most High were also Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Yeah, man. And they ain't, a great portion of us now know that. That's what they're afraid of, you see. Because those other places, man, they've been in business for so long by trying to convince everybody that, God just loves everyone, but we've torn down that. Now, man, there's a people that he has indignation for forever. Kind of like the Slayer song, God Hates Us All. He hates every one of you red Hebrew Edomites. He hates anyone that's outside of Yashala. He hates 2/3 of Yashala. The 2/3 that don't want to get right, that don't want to repent and come to him, guess what? He hates you too. That's just it, man. Only the remnant would come. So if you're hearing this, then you know it's time to repent. You know it's time to get to a camp while you still can. These gates of mercy ain't going to be open much longer. Can't you see they're taking everything down right and left? that eventually we won't be out here. So get this while you still can. So Adawan Ratazah. I'll be back later again this week. Until next time, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Wa Abab Babal, and Barakatum Yehovah Elek. Shalom. Save this to computer while you still can. Because again, man, they are taking down camp channels right and left.